dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to the Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey podcast, episode 313 in the Ruby Track studio. Chris, how the hell are you?
I'm great. It's good to be back.
It's good to be back. Man, time just keeps rolling. These days are so long now in the summer. We had summer solstice, so apparently the days are getting shorter daylight-wise.
Yep, that's right.
But, oh my God, we're right in the midst of summer here, and batshit crazy. We've both been busy, and we missed a podcast again. Sorry, but it's real life.
We're living. We're
not giving up.
We're not
giving up. We got a lot of cool shit going on, but yeah, it's just been crazy busy. But my life just simplified a little bit today, so we'll get into that in a minute. But yeah, so here we are. Welcome, July 4th weekend. It's Sunday.
Hopefully, everybody
things have
has
settled down.
Sane.
The fireworks have been lit off. It's quiet up here compared to living in the Bay Area. It sounded like Beirut every night.
And we're still happening here. It's still happening.
Oh, is it
down
still
here.
going in Livermore?
Yeah, okay. Last night. Yeah, I was like, hey guys, that was 2 days ago. No, we're going to continue launching bombs into the sky. It's great.
There you go.
Of course, my dog is hiding under the bed, just completely cowering away. So
yeah, that sucks. But yeah, so happy 4th of July. Hope everybody had a great 4th of July. Got to hang out with family and friends and had some good barbecue going on. It's a big barbecue weekend. I know I had a blast. I went down to Tom's house down there in Fair Oaks.
Yes, sir.
California. And weather was perfect. It was like 88 degrees because usually it's like 100 this time of the year down there.
Can't be more than 114.
Pizza oven was rolling, had pizzas going, did a plate ribs that incredible. So plate ribs, I actually had some plate ribs here at my house that we smoked for 6 hours week and a half ago or so. I don't know. It's been a blur. It's been a revolving door with the amount of people running through here. But my buddy John that's building a house just 10 miles as a crow flies from here brought these plate ribs. And I'm like, what the hell's plate ribs? Well, it's what they cut Korean short ribs out of. So you got the 3 bones and they slice it, across. And so you get all 3 bones in this thin slice. Well, this is the whole fucking enchilada right here. This is the whole meat with the 3 ribs. And you cook that thing for 5-6 hours on your smoker, and the meat just peels back off that bone. And it is, dude, it's way better than a brisket. Similar to a brisket, way better than a brisket.
What?
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I love my brisket, that's for sure.
So Tom did one of those, and then he made his famous over-the-top chili, and he calls it over-the-top chili. He found this recipe, and it was beef and venison. And he makes these big, 2 huge meatballs that are the size of softballs. And he puts that on he puts that on a grate above a cast iron pot. Okay, a big cast iron pot that has the beans and onions and all your chili fixins in there, your spices and stuff.
I love a good chili.
And you put that whole thing on the smoker. So what happens is as that meat is cooking and rendering down, i.e. fat dripping out of the meatballs, those 2 huge softball meatballs, where's that grease going? It's going right into the fucking chili.
The chili, okay? Yeah.
So he smokes that meat. It renders down into the chili. After a couple hours, he takes those balls and breaks them up and puts them into the chili. So now you got the smoked meat that just went into the chili with all its juices. And then he cooks that for a couple hours on the Traeger, or he's got a pit boss like me, pellet smoker. And then, you mix that up and just stew that mofo up. And then he, drains the fat off the top because all that fat's going to rise to the top. So you get that off. Oh my God, it's such good chili.
Oh man.
So needless to
Sounds delicious.
say, we ate well. It was a
I
good.
ate, I ate dinner a little while ago. Now I'm hungry again. Damn it.
Yeah, and what cracks me up is fireworks are legal there in Sacramento,
Oh,
or the state capital of California.
Well, they're not gonna
Safe and
disallow
sane fireworks.
they're not gonna disallow the politicians from their fun.
Yeah, so the neighbor was firing off fireworks. We could see them over the fence at Tom's house. There was some pretty wild fireworks going on, but yeah, so it was a chill deal. How about you? Did you fire off some freedom or let the
No,
Eagles
I went to
sing?
bed.
What'd you do? You went to
I-
bed. Were you in bed?
I had to work early, so
Yeah.
I mean, my I heard a few fireworks, and then my dog was scratching at the door to the bedroom, and I let her in, and she hid under the bed for the rest of the night.
Yeah.
I slept right through most of them. I've been so tired lately that this is not what the listeners want to hear, but I went to bed. I'm kind of just a party pooper, but I like celebration. But Livermore did not have a official's 4th of July celebration this year. I know we had that big fire in Escalon or whatever, or not in Escalon, but anyway, out there by Cache Creek, they had that warehouse that blew up and caught on fire.
Yeah.
With
The
all the fireworks.
factory.
Well, it wasn't
7
a factory,
or 9
it was-
people missing?
Yeah, 7 or 8 people died, unfortunately, but Esparto out there. And so that canceled quite a few fireworks shows for different cities. Like San Jose had to cancel theirs, and
so it was a warehouse.
Yeah, it was a warehouse. Yeah, because I guess the company that did fireworks shows stored all their material there, and you'd think they'd know better. But anyway,
Did you see
so
the
Livermore
explosion from that, the video.
Dude, it was crazy.
The explosion looked like a big fucking bomb went off.
Oh yeah, well, it was a lot of little
but
bombs.
it was like weird that this one big thing blew. What was it? A fucking 55-gallon drum of gunpowder or what? I don't know, but
I don't know.
It blew up, and that was insane. It was.
Well, you got to think. I think it was like at least I heard about at least 4 shows that were canceled, 4 city shows that were canceled because of that fire and explosion.
Dude,
so that's a significant number of fireworks or mortars or whatever you want to call them. So, I don't want to paint a sad picture, but unfortunately, every July 4th we hear about some of these stories. People die or have their hands blown off or whatever, but that's what, unfortunately, when alcohol and fireworks get together, bad things can happen. But, hopefully everybody had a great 4th. I know I slept through mine because I had to work early in the morning. And, good 4th of July. And I just wanted to kind of circle back for a second. This is episode 313, and I was going to I did a quick search. Did you know this is the angel number? 313 is the angel number. And I say that in context.
Not know that.
You did not know that. But I say that in the context.
Like Ed McMahon. Johnny, did not know that.
Did not know that. But it's a message. So in general, let's see here. Let me read this. Holds significant in spiritual and numerological context. It's generally interpreted as a message of positive change, growth, and forward movement, urging individuals to embrace a new beginning and trust their intuition. And that's what we like to talk about here on the show. Positive, moving forward, happiness,
wow.
and from the 4th of July, the summer's still rolling on. I love it. I haven't had my adventures. I haven't really got into my adventures for the summer yet, but, and we'll talk about a few topics this episode, but, Jason's got something to talk about. I want to talk about what I did today.
Was that AI generated that you just read, or what is that from? What's the source?
It is AI generated off of Google, AI overview. So, but the angel number, man, angel number. And we talk about, in the context of whiskey, the angel share, right?
Oh, look at you tying it all back in. Very nice. Very nice.
That's what we give till it hurts here, Jason. You know that.
Okay. Well, One other sad note about fireworks. Did you see the barge that went down on Lake Tahoe?
I didn't see it, but I heard about it. It's just like, dude, that's not the only barge. I guess the Sausalito barge went down too. I mean, it was.
This is some weird shit. And so they launched this barge earlier in the week. We had some weather, some big high winds and stuff. But literally, the barge was, a couple 100 feet offshore. It wasn't very far out.
Well, I'm very familiar with that barge.
This barge sank, and with all the fireworks for Incline Village went with it. So
wah wah wah.
Yeah, so you've got, let's just say $35,000 worth of fireworks on this barge that went down in Lake Tahoe, and beaches were closed because this stuff's washing up on shore. These big, 8-inch mortars are washing up on shore, and it was unsafe. The bomb squad was out there today. It's June 6th today.
All
So
day.
a couple days after the 4th. So unfortunately, the 4th of July, that fireworks show did not go off. The one in South Shore did
it
by
went
the
down.
casinos.
It didn't go up. It went down.
It went down. It did not go up. That's exactly right. The barge sank, and there's pictures of it, of this barge going under like the Titanic. And apparently it's about 140 feet deep in that portion of the lake. So part of that barge, some of it washed up on shore, some of it sank to 140 feet and is buried. I mean, it hit the ocean floor. It's all sandy.
So who had the job of putting the plug in that forgot to do it?
I don't know. And what
you had one job, dude. One job
is this thing did not just like sink in 2 seconds from a rogue wave hitting it, right? It was a slow process. So why didn't it get towed to shore when they first discovered that it was? Because people are out there watching. It's loaded up with $35,000 worth of fireworks. They don't just launch it out there and wait for the fireworks show. There's people out there, watching this thing. I don't know. There's a lot of questions, but it's unfortunate because it closed beaches. So all these tourists that were up here
contamination in the lake, a
control,
pristine mountain lake,
that were up here to have a good time, and go to these lakes. I'm sorry, the lake and these beaches, and their 4th of July fun. Not only could they not go to the beach that day, they didn't get to see the fireworks show that night. They could see the fireworks across the lake, but
the South Shore ones went off. Yeah.
So, anyways, that was really bizarre. And of course, there's conspiracy theories. Some environmental group sank the thing or whatever. Who knows? We'll probably never know the whole story, but pretty crazy. Pretty crazy.
Well, Lake Tahoe is it's an interesting place. I mean, it's over the last couple of weeks, there's been, death and destruction, unfortunately, and sinkings and so forth. So, but we want to try to be positive on this show. So,
well, yes, and
hope everybody had a great 4th and celebrated safely and sanely. And moving on, we have lots to talk about. So
we do. Can I talk about? Oh, go ahead.
Well, I mean, I didn't watch fireworks, but I did make loud sounds earlier today. But we can talk about that
because you had
later.
chili.
Because I had no, I didn't have chili. No, I went bang bang with pistols and rifles.
Oh yeah. We'll get into that in a minute. So I do got to talk about. We had a fire here in northern Nevada.
That's right,
southern Gardnerville. It was out there. In the Pine Nuts, they refer to that area as 1,400 acre fire, just under, I think. It's called the Connor Fire. But luckily, it started with a house fire. Not luckily.
Not luckily for them.
It moved out into the Pine Nuts. It didn't come into the suburbs here. But the crazy thing is, you get all this support, from all these different regions and stuff. And so I was having breakfast a few days later. The fire was pretty well contained at that point at our Minden Airport, the Tail Dragger. Great,
good food.
Great place to
huge portions of food. Huge portions.
Good Greasy Spoon restaurant. But you look out on the tarmac there, the airport, and there was 2 of these scooper, planes that drop water. And they're based out of Bozeman, Montana. And so we had breakfast, and then we walked out there, and James and I. And so I'm like, dude, we got to go see. We could see some other people talking to him and stuff. And so we walked out to the tarmac, started talking to this guy named Gordon. He's the crew chief that flies with these planes to all these different fires. And it's a Bridger Aerospace aircraft, and a pretty massive plane, And I was like, this is crazy seeing it up close and very purpose built, very, utilitarian. There's no frills on this plane. There's no insulation. I mean, the poor cockpit, it's like they got some space blanket, reflective tinfoil above their heads, because there is zero insulation in this plane. It's just all about fighting fires. And it's got these 2 tanks that hold like 700 plus gallons of water in each tank. And it's interesting, the scooper for they land on the water, right? Or go across the water.
Skim.
Skim the water. That's a good word. At 80 or 90 miles an hour. And it's these tiny little like 4 or 5 inch square scoop that pops down. There's 2 of them. And at 80, 90 miles an hour, they can fill this plane up in like 10 seconds.
God, you think it would auger in, but that's good.
Right, but it's got floats. It's shaped like a boat underneath. It's got the bow and stuff on the front of the plane, so it doesn't auger in and and spiral. But so it fills up these tanks, and then there's overflow, right? So the pilot's looking down the sides of the plane, and there's these 2 outlets on either side of the plane. So as they're scooping the water, it fills up the tanks, and then it spits it out the side. So when it starts spitting out the side, he knows to pull up and get out of there, that his tanks are full. And I'm
That's
like,
got to
okay,
be some serious tank construction, because I mean, you got to think that the pressure of the water being forced into those tanks. What's the PSI on that? I mean, that's
and there's a big outlet port, like overflow port, that's shooting out the side of the plane. So it's not building up pressure per se, but it's forcing water out. But man, super cool to see, but that operation. So, Anyway, shout out to Gordon that gave us a good hour tour of the plane and talked about the whole thing. And that was kind of fun to see. And so they were scooping out a Topaz Lake in just south of Gardnerville, and he said it was like a 10-minute time for them to scoop and drop, and then come back another 10 minutes, scoop and drop. So it was really close, and they were able to save additional structures out there. And then it's BOM land. Unfortunately, it burned, but no other structures were lost. So,
well, that's surprising to me, because that's pretty much desolate desert out there with just tumbleweeds and shit. So,
well, the pine nuts, sagebrush, and
What's Lorenzo going to eat now? He doesn't have any tumbleweeds.
There's plenty. I mean, there's plenty more out there. But
good.
Anyway,
so the fire is contained, 100% contained now.
That was contained and taken care of and put to bed. But we are in fire season, as we mentioned the last podcast.
That's right,
a couple weeks ago, and so be fire aware. And
the biggest fire in California right now is burning down near our good friend Ultra 4 Jones, Kevin Jones, in San Luis Obispo County. And that's, I think, last I heard, it was like 30,000 acres. So hopefully that's going to be contained pretty quick. But it is fire season, as we mentioned, like Jason said in the previous episode. And in the show notes for every episode of Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, we do have a link to the get your fire permit. So if you're off-roading, camping, doing anything that has to do with an open flame, whether it's a campfire or a fire pit, a cook stove or a barbecue, whatever, you need to have that fire permit. So go do it. Do it right now.
Yeah.
Pause this show and do it right now.
Pause and get your fire permit. Be educated. So pretty crazy. So let's get into your little, speaking of fire, you had a controlled fire going on today.
It was great.
Yeah?
It was great. I haven't gone shooting in a long time, and that's what we did. What prompted that, and unfortunately you don't live nearby anymore, but you would have loved this today. It was super cool. So Andy,
I don't like
the
to
friend,
have fun.
friend of the show, Andy Cardenas. We call him Carnitas. He acquired his first. Well, he has a pistol already, but he bought his first semi-automatic handgun, and
oh wow,
he needed to shoot it. And so I suggested that we go shooting, and I talked to my son Craig, who lives in an area that has a private shooting range. Anyway, he's very involved in guns and whatnot. So
yes, he is.
And whatever. So, but Andy needed to bust the cherry, if you will, on this new pistol. He bought a Beretta not a Beretta. He bought a Glock 17, and it's in a 9mm, and it's a beautiful gun. But anyway, this shooting range is a private shooting range owned by, I'm not going to name names right now, but it's south of Livermore off of Mines Road. And I went into territory I've never been in today.
Really?
Yeah, it's literally, we drove for like over an hour through, that mountain range that's basically to the east of San Jose and Fremont. I mean, at one point I could see we were on the eastern side of Mount Hamilton.
Really?
And it was beautiful, beautiful terrain. It's all chaparral, like we've mentioned before. Reminded me a lot of being, like Hollister Hills. But at one point, so we're going down Mines Road out of Livermore, and that road eventually connects in with Mount Hamilton Road.
Yep.
So we got to an intersection. We're out in the middle of nowhere, and we get to an intersection. It says 35 miles to San Jose, and that's by pavement.
Yeah.
So I was like, it was 31 miles back to Livermore and 35 miles to San Jose. Wow. But I mean, it's very rural. There's very few homes. A lot of the homes that are out there are off the grid. They don't have, so there's no PG&E connection. Some of them do, but there's not what am I looking for internet? You don't have like fiber or Comcast out there, but that's not a deal breaker nowadays with the Starlink and so forth. But after, so Andy rode with me in my truck, and we followed. My son Craig was in front of us to get us to this place because we didn't know where the hell we were going. So after a while, about an hour, a little over an hour, we get to a dirt road. We make a right turn off the pavement, which pavement's kind of stretching the word a little bit. It's that, that like oiled gravel that they use.
It's like reprocessed tires, melted down tires over gravel. That's what the pavement was for the most part. It was very granular
because we left Alameda County and entered into Santa Clara County.
Okay.
And we were kind of in this like no man's land between Santa Clara County and Stanislaus County.
Yep.
Is it Stanislaus or San Joaquin? Anyway, we were kind of in the middle of nowhere where we were shooting. In the areas we were driving through, there was no cell service whatsoever.
Really?
No, the phones were dead. So we finally, after all this driving, get to this place. We go down. I took my Chevy, my Colorado, which, as everybody knows, I didn't buy the 4-wheel drive model. I just got the
right.
We ended up going basically off-roading, and Craig has a 2-wheel drive Ram. So he's like, no, your truck will get out there. No problem. And I'm kicking myself because, Andy's got the FJ Cruiser, which is more than capable off-road. And I have my Ram, which is great off-road. And so at one point we're going down, when we're finally getting close to this guy's shooting range, which is 290 acres of private property out there.
Wow.
And
that's crazy.
He owns a company that is involved in shooting and military, and he's got military contracts and stuff like that. So out there on this property, there are 2.5 deuce military trucks and Humvees. And anyway, he hosts like shooting clinics out there. So driving down the hill into this canyon, Craig took me down this road that was so steep that I was like, I'm applying the brakes on my truck, and we start sliding, and the ABS doesn't know what to do.
That's not good. And
I'm like, dude, I got to drive out of here. It's like, anyway, I'm like, okay, this is a problem. Anyway, we're committed. So I continue going down. I figure he knows what's going on. So, and Andy's sitting with me in the truck, and he's like, wow, this is pretty steep. And I'm like, yeah, I don't know how this is going to go, but I might need to call a friend.
Oh, no.
But anyway, we get to the bottom of the hill there into this canyon where there's like a compound. The guy's got he's got containers, Connex boxes and so forth, and it's all flattened out. There's been a bulldozer has been going through there and leveling stuff, and we park in this area that's got a whole bunch of gravel, pea stone gravel. And we get out of the trucks, and it's like, there it is. We're in this private shooting range. It's our own private Idaho. There's literally nobody else there.
Wow.
So we start unloading our guns and our ammo and get our safety equipment out, our hearing protection, our eye protection. I put on sunscreen because I forgot to do that. And there's no shade, and it was cool. There were steel targets, tons of steel targets.
Really?
My son went to a container and brought out those wooden so we could put up paper targets, because I wanted to shoot on paper too.
Yeah.
And Andy brought his gun out, and he had his 38 special, this revolver 38 special. It's like an old cop gun.
Oh boy.
And all of us shot that later in the morning, but it was cool. So he had his brand new Glock. I had my old trusty, not old, but my Beretta and chambered in 40 cal that I was going to shoot. My son had his 45 caliber pistol, plus his 17 rifle, and he also had a 22 rifle. I had my Ruger 22. I mean, there was plenty of guns to have fun with, and we just basically spent a couple hours, plinking and shooting. And I got to say, it's been a long time since I've shot, way too long, and goddamn, do I suck.
Really? Really?
It's like, I mean, it's like, I don't know what was going on, but the Beretta is a good pistol, but for whatever reason, even at like 25 feet, I was having a hell of a time, killing paper. So, but and I don't know what it was. I really don't, but I actually had better luck with the 9. So part of me feels like I want to go and buy a 9mm pistol now, but I will say that shooting the Glock 17, I'm left-handed, so I never had the problem with my Beretta with the ejected shells, hitting my arm and burning me. But the goddamn Glock, I had to size, like after one magazine, I'm like, I think at least 6 of the cartridges got ejected onto my arm and burned me.
Really?
Yeah, I'm like, okay, I'm done. I'm not. It has a nice feel, Andy, but man, your gun was burning my arm, and I don't like that.
I hate Glocks. I am not a Glock fan.
Really?
For several yeah, not a Glock fan at all.
So, and then I shot my 22 Ruger, and that was fun. I tell you what, the action was a little weird on that for a while. Craig and I had to work on that for a bit. That gun hasn't been shot in probably 3 years. So, but once it got working, it was fine, and I had a good time with that. And I tell you what, with the scope on that thing sitting back from 50 feet or 100 feet, I was killing paper like nobody's business.
That's awesome, man. Well, it's fun to get out there, especially on a private range like that where there's no pressure, and it's like you got 15-minute or half an hour interval. It's usually 15-minute intervals to shoot, 15, 20.
Mm-hmm.
And and then you got people like breathing over your neck to make sure you're being safe, which is good.
Well, no, absolutely.
It's nice to be able to be in a relaxed environment and where you can, shoot at your pace and not be like, oh shit, I got, 2 minutes left in this session to shoot and get my gun aligned and whatever. It's just, yeah.
Well, and no matter what, whether you're on a private range or a publicly, or one of those ranges that are for business, like Livermore Rod and Gun, where I've shot, you still want to be safe. Follow the rules, use common sense. But one of the things that was cool about this place is they have targets that out to a mile.
Holy crap.
So I'm like, obviously a mile, you need a pretty significant rifle for that. So,
yeah.
Like a 7 mag or something like that, 7mm mag. But my son, he was showing us, you needed like binoculars to see some of these targets, or spotting scopes. But there was one that was 100 yards and I couldn't hit that. There was another one that was 200 yards. There was a 500-yard target. And then I don't know where the mile one was, because I wasn't going to shoot that with a pistol. So
right.
But he's my son Craig's really into the long distance stuff. I mean, big time. Where you're prone on the ground with the tripod and the spotting scope and the high powered rifle and whatever. I don't know what. I think he shoots a 7mm Magnum for that or whatever. But yeah, that's good. He's pretty good at it. He's hit his target from, I don't think he's done a mile, but because that's like crazy, like 50 cal stuff. But
yeah, he's gotten into shooting, and I've talked ballistics with him, bullet drop, windage, all this stuff. And he is definitely freaking in it. Holy crap.
Oh yeah, no, and then he did some exercise. So that was the other beauty of the private range is they don't have any restrictions on rapid fire.
Right.
So, because I mean, you like Livermore rod and gun. If you start pulling the trigger if you do, they like you. I think it's like 1 or 2 second interval between trigger pulls. But if you start doing it faster than that, they come over and have a chat with you. But he did an exercise where he walked up to the target and he put his hand basically because we had not humans, but targets that look like people,
alien. Oh, robbers.
And then he'd step back and he'd draw from his holster, and then he'd do a rapid fire as he's backing away. Okay. And it was like, boop, 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 boop. It's like, damn. And he was drilling that fucking target. It's like, I don't think I want to mess with this kid. His gun handling skills are quite good. So, hats off to my son. You making that happen today. Obviously it was a great day with hanging out with Andy and my son. And, it was fun. I mean, that was my excitement for July 4th weekend.
Well, that's super cool, man. And, something about firing a gun and, being comfortable with it. It's exciting. And, it's America. That's a great way to celebrate 4th of July.
Yeah, no doubt.
Being responsible, and getting comfortable with your gun is a huge thing. And like you said, it's like, you haven't shot in a while, and even though you're familiar with the gun and shot before, it's good to get out there and reacquaint yourself with it, and be comfortable with it. So
for sure.
Yeah, good stuff, man. I like it.
Finish recording this. I'm going to go clean the gun.
Oh yeah. That's
and then I'm going to put the hollow points back in the mags because don't break into my house. That's all I'm saying.
The hallway shots. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's cool. I got to see Aaron Lewis last week. He came into town.
Music.
Yeah, and I mean, he is a hell of a performer. I saw him a year ago at CVI, Carson Valley Inn. And wait, Lorenzo's like, you went there without me? Yeah, I told you I was going. Oh, he's all pissed off now. He just left the room. Anyways, really cool. He is unapologetic, just hardcore patriotic American, and doesn't care what he says or how he says it. It's refreshing. It's great. So, and his music's great, and he's got a great voice and puts on a great show. And I saw John and Hope and Shane Ruiz there, some friends of ours from our 4-wheel drive club, Esprit de Four.
Yep.
So they came out, and they were sitting on the other side of the arena for us. I guess you can call it arena. It's a real small, intimate venue.
So what's the number of people that can be there?
That's a good question. I'm going to guess. So like there's seats on either side, the way they set it up for us or for that particular concert. So there's seats on either side, and then the center is standing room, and then there's a lawn area out back. But I gotta say, man, if I had to put a number on it, 300 people.
That's
maybe
it. I was thinking it'd be
400,
more than a couple thousand. No,
400. I don't know, man. It's not a big venue, but it's cool. And the bartenders pour heavy. And so like a double Jack and Coke costs you $12. I mean,
shit.
it's great. They do a great job. So any of the casino, or I mean, any of the concerts that they have there at CVI, just go check it out. It's worth it just to go to. They call it TJ's Corral. Very, very cool. And just like I say, it's just a cool, intimate venue.
Cool.
But excuse me. But yeah, he's great, and he's got his country music, and it's just pro America, and he was oh my God, I'm trying to The Sinner, great song. I'm trying to think of the other band. Oh, Stained. He was with Stained, and he
Never
does
heard of
Stained
him.
song. Oh no, the Stained is fucking great. Look it up. And he's got a great voice and just wails and makes it happen. Same age as me, 53 years old. He's just still out there rocking away.
You're 53.
Yes, sir.
You don't look a day over 63.
I don't feel like a day over 82, so we're doing good here. So anyways, that was an absolute blast to see him. What else? Oh my gosh. I mean, it's just been we'll get into it the next podcast here. This Lance Camper rebuild for the Davenports. Holy hell.
Jeez. That's like a 4-month saga that you were involved with.
Well, it was here for 4 months, but wasn't working on it every day, obviously, and with my new job and stuff. But it was good. I learned a lot, and the camper came out great. It left my driveway today. They took it home, so they've got it for the summer now. That thing is way stronger, more sealed than when it left the factory. I guarantee it. So I feel very confident with everything we did. The remodel inside looks great. Updated the lighting to LED.
Mm-hmm.
Got an LED bougie strip above there. They have like this little. There's no window in the front of the cab over before. We would have eliminated it if there was, but there wasn't. But there's a little shelf up top with a little LED light, white light.
Mm-hmm.
So we put an updated color. You can change colors and stuff. So you got the little bougie light up there. You got your LED reading lights, and basically rebuilt the whole front cab over where the water leak was. And we'll get into some details and what I've learned and what I recommend to maintain. Yeah, we'll do a deep dive on that on the next podcast. It'll be like a cab over camper, what to look for, how to maintain, and don't go down this rabbit hole of new roof and new front nose cone and everything unless you've got a lot of time and skill. Not saying that I'm all that in a bag of chips. I learned a lot on this process, but it is more than a weekend project. Let's put it that way. I don't.
Well, I mean, as we said in a previous episode when we talked about getting your camper ready for the season. This is going to be a little bit more involved, obviously, but these are, as we said in the previous episode, these are basically mini houses that have all the same systems, but everything is shrunk down and everything is super hard to get to. So, and maintenance is critical.
And every time you drive it down the highway, especially in the back of a Dodge truck, it's like an 8.0 earthquake.
Wow.
Dude, there was an AI. I watched this. Somebody sent it to me. There was an AI. I sent it to you. I don't know if you saw it. One of our listeners sent it to me, and it was an AI generated deal about his Dodge. And he's like, "Yeah, I love to travel with my Dodge across the country." And he's riding in his Dodge pickup, and then it pans out, and it's on the back of a flatbed tow truck. And then
that was James and Rhonda after that.
Yeah. And then the next scene, it was like pulling out of the driveway and the transmission literally like shoots out of the truck.
Fuck.
Oh, it was great. So I had to forward that to you. And
don't curse my truck, man. It's been 100% awesome for me.
John, all my, Dodge.
I'm still going to say every time I've seen a barbecue of a Ford truck or a truck on the side of the road, it's been a Ford truck every single fucking time. There you go. So just saying. I never see Rams burned down on the side of the road.
No, but you see transmission and parts of transmissions laying behind them. So,
what are you drinking, Holmes?
So I've got a little. What is this? This is a Kentucky Straight Rye from Wilderness Trail. Just killed the bottle. It's what does it say here? 100 proof. 100 proof. So, yeah, just straight. It's good. I got it mixed with a little, the proof mix, the orange. So good. So it's a little old fashioned sipping on.
Nice.
Tonight. Small batch Kentucky Straight whiskey, and yeah, it's good. It's a nice mixing rye. I mean, you can have it straight too, but I like it with this proof syrup.
Sweet.
Yes, sir. What do you got?
I'm just I just popped out a bottle that I haven't opened in a while, which just been calling my name. And I have, it's been over a year since I've tasted this, but it's Backbone Bourbon Uncut, straight bourbon whiskey. It's a hot one. It's 120 proof.
Woo.
But I'll tell you what, this has...
Good thing you're off tomorrow.
I am off tomorrow. This has a great flavor profile and mouthfeel. I really like it. Next
awesome.
time you're down in the area, you're gonna have to revisit this one. I like it. I like it.
I remember seeing the bottle on your shelf.
Yeah, it's just I think that was a pickup from either Bevmo or Total Wine and More. I was just Backbone Bourbon. How can that be bad? So it's definitely 100. It's definitely got some high alcohol content on it. Let's go light on it. But man, it's just got some great caramel, clove, just good stuff. I like it a lot. So
nice.
But you got to be careful with it and being as hot as it is.
20. James and Rhonda brought up a Hemingway bourbon. I tasted it. It was very good. I don't know anything more about it. The bottle's not in front of me. They took it home with them. The cork was like broke off in it. I had to rescue the cork.
What?
And put another. Yeah, I had a wine cork, a fat wine cork that ended up fitting in there fine. But yeah, I got to look into that one. That was something new. Tried. Always like
Hemingway. Was it any part of the writer Hemingway or some sort of relationship?
I don't know. Yeah.
Huh.
I don't know. But it was Hemingway bourbon, and it was delicious. We did a little parting shot of Redwood Empire bourbon right before they left on their voyage, and I said the warranty's good till you leave the property. So as soon as they went through the gate, warranty void, done.
Hey, listeners, also speaking of that little sniglet of information about, going on a voyage and a trip on Netflix, it's a train wreck episode of Poop Cruise.
What?
For the Carnival cruise from like 2013.
What?
When they had the ship, they had an onboard fire on a Carnival cruise going out of Galveston, Texas. That disabled all the power to the cruise, and the passengers were all basically living on the deck because it was hot and they had no bathrooms and the toilets were overflowing. If you that was suggested to me on Netflix a few nights ago, and I watched it. It's like an hour documentary, but it's fun. It's funny to watch. I mean, the dramatizations of it and the people that were on the cruise that volunteered to speak. It's just, I mean, we've all been on Carnival cruises, whether, I enjoy, I went on the booze cruise out of Long Beach, I don't know, 8-10 years ago when I took the whole family. And it was 10 years ago because Craig had officially turned 18 years old, and we went into Ensenada and went to a bar in Ensenada. And that's where Craig had his first official beer as a 18-year-old. But love it or hate it, Carnival is kind of what do you want to call it? The discount cruise line,
They're
but
the party cruise line, yeah,
party
affordable.
cruise line.
Yeah, the affordable cruise line, and you're not going to get the best service, the best food, or the newest boat all the time, but they do a good job. I've been on like 6 Carnival cruises, and you just got to know going into it. It's just like flying Southwest. You know what you got. I mean, it's great. I mean, Southwest kills it, and but now they're going to start charging for bags and shit, and
they're doing it now.
And
My
get
wife,
your July 1st, right? It started,
Yep.
and then seat assignments, and so that ship sailed, which is unfortunate, because that was great. I mean, people called it the cattle carrier, but you knew going into it. Don't be all like, oh, well, I expected fucking caviar and champagne on Southwest flight,
no,
and
Southwest.
no, you know what you're getting into, and that's great. You want to go bougie, then you step it up to Celebrity or Norwegian or some other cruise line and do that. But
Cunard, Titanic.
Cunard, oh yeah, there you go, the Titanic.
Titanic 2.
Well, that was the barge on Lake Tahoe with the fireworks. I sent the Titanic logo to my
Well, speaking to that, I mean the Dixie, the Dixie that sails across the Tahoe every day or twice a day or whatever. That fucking thing, it's a paddle wheel thing. It sinks like every other year.
Nice.
Right on the dock, it just sometimes sinks. It just randomly sinks. And there's some guy that's standing off to the side with that cork plug. Oops.
Yeah. Whoopsie. I should have put this in. Where does this go? Well, hey, good stuff. We did our free T-shirts, because we give till it hurts here on the podcast.
That's right.
Apparently, a lot of you jumped in on that offer, so good for you. Good on you. It was just a cool thing that we were able to be part of, and I just got a Instagram message from Kyle_MCI. He picked up an Ultra 4 Jones shirt, a Dave Freiberger shirt, and our shirt, and he goes, I got a new set of shirts, work shirts. So I'm like, that's freaking cool. So I reposted that today, but shout out to Kyle for getting one of our shirts, and appreciate that. So yeah, if you missed out on the offer, well, too bad, too sad. Hopefully next time, if we ever do it again. I don't know. Lorenzo said never again. I don't know why. There was no skin off his back.
Well, hell, I jumped in on it and got a coffee mug too. So.
Oh yeah, see, you went ahead. You got your shirt and $6.95 shipping, and then you got a coffee mug. Very nice.
Yeah, even the hosts have to pay.
I know, but yeah, a lot of people did buy something additional, and we appreciate that. That every little bit helps us out, and thank you very much for participating in that promotion that we did, and thanks to Dirtbag Johnny at Dirtbag Clothing that helped facilitate all that. And of course, you can still go to our website and get whatever clothing custom made to your desire, colors, and where you want the logo. But no more free shit. We got it. We got to hunker down this summer. We got gas to put in our rigs. I got tires to put on my rig. Now that the camper's out, I've got the garage opened up, and I'm ready to work on, the buggy and Jeep. And
well, my camper's coming up next. You're going to reseal my roof.
Yeah, we'll bring it over. I got an electric. Okay, so one thing I will say.
Don't say it.
Can I?
I'm gonna censor the episode.
We got to bleep it. So I got a cock gun.
Oh, you said the word. Was it black?
No. Well, it does have black on it. It's a black and deck. No, it's a DeWalt 20-volt cock gun. And I'm like, man, I got to spread a lot of cock on this camper, and I want to get something so I don't have to squeeze the trigger all the time.
Glad you can handle your cock.
Exactly. And so I picked up this DeWalt 20-volt cock gun, and I'll tell you what, it's like welding with that thing. You can set how fast and slow it goes, and you cut your the end of the cock tube to the right angle that you want.
Jesus.
And you lay it right on there, and you just squeeze the trigger and just lay down your cock right on down.
Just shoots on out, huh?
It does. It just shoots on out for a long time.
This
too.
Episode's getting so censored.
You can lay down a lot of cock in a short amount of time. So
wow.
It's really good. It was a great purchase. I knew I was gonna enjoy using that cock gun, and I did. I really did. It took a little practice to learn how to use that DeWalt cock gun, but once you got the handle of it, it worked great.
Get your hands on it.
Got my hands on it. I'll tell you, James took it over, and he was real messy with the cock gun. He had to. There was a lot of cleanup when he was done with the cock gun, but you got to be patient. You got to watch the flow of the cock coming out of the gun, and manipulate it correctly. And
so you go zigzagging back and forth?
No, you're not. You're kind of making like E's, just like welding. No, but it's cool because you can just like slowly, lay down your line of cock in a nice, without squeezing the trigger multiple times.
Well, I've got to say, you've inspired me to go buy an electric cock gun.
Oh, there you go. So
I'm a Ryobi guy because that's the battery system.
They do make. Yeah, that's the thing. You get married to your battery system, right? Milwaukee, Ryobi, DeWalt, whatever your deal is. I don't even know if Makita is still a thing. I think it is.
Oh yeah, Makita's around. I don't know if they have a cock gun, but
it's it just added to my 47 DeWalt cordless tools that I have.
And you bring them all with you when you go everywhere you go.
No, I don't. But I do bring my blower everywhere I go. I love the mini DeWalt blower. That thing's great. Blowing out the camper, blowing off the buggy, Jeep. And you get the campfire going with it, too. You can oxygenate the campfire and really get that sucker raging.
You can always count on Jason nesting when he gets to camp.
We do. We do it. We like to glamp. We like to have a good time. So I'm looking forward to August. Get out there. I got a lot of trips, off-road trips planned in August. So there'll be plenty of cool stories coming out in August. July, got a couple things going on. But now it's going to be focusing on, organizing the garage and
wrenching
for some storage containers. Yeah, working on shit, and it's going to be good. It's good stuff. I'm excited. It's great to get that project done.
Mm-hmm.
And James and Rhonda are super happy, and that camper should serve them well for another 10 plus years easily. So,
well, for sure.
So that's great.
Speaking of campers, I just wanted I don't have all the details, but I saw on the Facebook, I believe it was, I don't do IG anymore, but Lance Camper was recently sold by the Rev Group, which is a big conglomerate that owns a bunch of different camper companies. So I'm not sure who bought Lance, but there's been reports about the quality of the newest Lance campers since they were bought however many years ago, kind of going downhill. But, the forums I follow for Lance, people are really encouraged that hopefully their build quality is going to improve, from this point forward. But, as I always said, I mean, I have an 855S that's was built, I believe, in 2014, and it's served me extremely well. I'm going to be redoing the roof, all the roof caulk and seals and so forth. This towards the end of the summer, we get it ready for winter. But that camper has been great. I know we've recorded quite a few episodes of the show in there. It's hosted, numerous celebrities, and it's just it's been great having that. And I want to, obviously take good care of it, because if you take care of your camper, it's going to take care of you.
Take care of you at King of the Hammers when the wind kicks up to 60 miles an hour, fireworks are raining down.
Or if you're at Adopt a Trail and you're inside your camper and it's raining and snowing outside, and the rest of your group is sitting next to a campfire trying to stay warm. Did I say that out loud?
That was, we were sitting there playing dice. It was you, me, and Hot Rod JL Latte. Sitting at your dinette and it got cold and windy and rainy, and we all just went into your camper. We had dinner. And
turn the furnace on.
The furnace was on. It was like fucking, 75, 80 degrees. And there was like ultra comfortable. We're playing dice and cards. And we felt so bad because we look out the window and people are like wearing 2 jackets and putting up tarps, trying to stay dry, building this fire in the rain. And we had to put the shades down because we couldn't, we didn't want them to see us enjoying ours.
Yeah,
living the Lance life.
Well, we paid for it. We want to enjoy it.
Well, yeah, but that was hilarious. That we still joke around about that. They're like, and then you lock the door so nobody could get in. They're like knocking on the door. Hey,
let us in.
We'd like to come in and play cards. Nope, no room. Sorry.
We were listening to tunes. We had it was great. It was a great night. That was a great trip. So
that was good, but yeah,
that was the peak of COVID too. That was horrible.
It was in 2020. That's right. Anyways, good times. The Lance life's good. Any camper life there. Like I say, we like to glamp, enjoy life, have good meals, drink good whiskey, wine, and go out and have some fun out on the trails. So looking forward to that. We are right in the middle of this. I haven't done a whole lot of wheeling yet this season. Looking forward to seeing you out there, Chris.
That's my goal.
Trips.
Well, Sierra Trek's coming up.
Yep, Sierra Trek's coming up.
If you haven't registered for it, go to Cal4's website and register for Sierra Trek. Official Sierra Trek, I believe, is the second weekend of August.
That is correct. So that is August 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th. Registration is still open for that. We've talked about it as nauseum about it on this podcast in the past. You look up past episodes, but it's a big fucking party out in the middle of the forest of Tahoe.
Summit City.
Great trail. I mean, Fordyce, my favorite trail out there, rock crawling, but there's other trails to do if you don't want to be, extreme rock crawling on trails. There's a long wheelbase trail. There's a historical run.
Even side by side
plenty of stuff to do.
now.
Even if you just come up, you got a Toyota and it's not going to do well on the trail. So you're like, okay, I'm just going to go to main camp and hang out and drink. You can do that.
Mean.
You can do that. You can just hang out with people out there and make a bunch of new friends. It's just an awesome area to be in. So look that up, cal4wheel.com or org.
I think it's .org.
I want to say .org. But yeah, that is August 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th, which is Thursday through Sunday. So yeah, good stuff. I'll be there.
.com,
hanging out.
cal4wheel.com.
Oh, it is .com. Okay. Not sure if I will be wheeling that weekend. I usually like to just hang out and camp and visit with everybody.
Hand out stickers.
Yeah, we got new stickers to hand out.
Ooh, yeah,
I don't know. I don't think we're going to have a booth. Are we having a booth? I don't think we are.
No.
But come find us. We're easy to spot. We'll be in main camp a lot. So
we're the old guys with wine glasses.
Yeah, and they're supposed to do a whiskey tasting again this year.
Oh,
which
shit.
Definitely we will be at that.
I'm going to register right now.
That's Saturday. Yep.
Didn't that get sold out pretty quick?
Yes, sir.
Info. Yeah, I'm looking at the register right now. Man, it's August 7th through 10th, Meadow Lake. God, I love Meadow Lake, man. That's going to be awesome.
So cool.
Yeah.
So, man, that covers the list that I have right now. So much more to do. Oh my gosh. It's just summer's rolling on. Here we are over halfway through the year.
Oh my God. It's
I
crazy.
can't believe it. But get out there, have fun, be responsible. Don't do anything I wouldn't do.
Get your campfire permit.
Yep. Absolutely. Anything else, Chris? How do they get a hold of us?
So there's so many different ways. You can call 408-800-5169 is a great way to get a hold of us and leave a voice message. And it'll get at some point, we're piling them on. We'll start playing those again.
We did not have the bandwidth to make it happen. We got a solid plan now. So bear with us. This is not our day job. So if you're complaining right now, go call Snail Trail and complain to them because this is not our day job. We got so many irons in the fire and trying.
That's right.
So we give till it hurts, but we can only give so much.
We can only give so much.
We
That's
just gave
exactly.
away we just gave away like 80 free T-shirts, so that's going to take us a while to recover from. All right, go on.
So yeah, the phone number, voicemail, leave a voicemail and it'll get played. And you can also email us, Chris at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com, Jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com, or Lorenzo at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Lorenzo, man, I tell you what, he was telling me the other day that he just gets a bunch of, freaking unsolicited emails from people asking for, or saying that they'll sell us like, lists of whatever stock of at different liquor stores. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah. I'm like, what do we want with that? It's like, well, it's insider information. I'm like, okay. So I haven't followed up on that with him, but
okay. Well, that's between you and him. I haven't heard that one yet.
And then, of course, the IG, which is at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, and that's certainly a great way to communicate with us. And it's the response time on that is quick. And if you do decide to, post a review or a feedback on any of a review on Apple Podcasts or a feedback at Spotify, definitely DM Jason at Wheeling Wine and Whiskey on the IG. And he'd be more than happy to send out a sticker, especially now because it's our new and improved sticker, which makes the old stickers kind of a collector's item. So
I've got 6 envelopes going out right now with sticker packs. I've thrown some extra stickers in there. So those of you that did reach out to me on IG, you're getting some extra stuff.
Sweet.
One of them, Logan, is getting a snail trail sticker because he was the one that responded. Yeah. Well, that's all right, but he's going to get a lot of cool shit too.
Does he have a Toyota?
Not sure. I don't think so.
And so that's the IG. And then, of course, don't forget about our rate4x4.com. Austin's doing a great job supporting us and the rest of the off-road community with his, the forums. They're great. Great place to gather information and get into, to get information on your builds or suggestions on what direction you should go in and so forth. You can scroll down to watch, listen, and discuss. You'll see our name, our show name, wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. Click on that. You can see all of our past episodes. And of course, interact with us or with other listeners. And on the right side of the screen is a way to directly support the show, which we appreciate but don't require.
That's right. Awesome stuff, man. Well, there we go. We're back. Guess who's back? We're back again. All right. With that,
episode 313, we're out.